never pictured myself doing the whole walk down the aisle dress. Like, I could never see it.
Once you have kids, the dynamic of your relationship completely changes.
Yeah.
Like, I see couples where there has been, infidelity, and they actually work out to be really well. This is the doom and gloom, but it's actually reality.
But it's just being real, right?
So research says that, like, young families, they have the highest incidence of separation and divorce.
And that's why I'm very particular about people I get relationship advice from.
But there are actually, like, really small ways that you can make time for each other. Someone actually, like, doing the dishes, or you come home and something's done, and you're like,
damn,
right?
Don't flirt with me now.
Yeah.
All right, guys, on today's episode, we're going to be talking about a topic that I absolutely love. We're talking about relationships, more specifically relationships after you have kids. You might not know, but up to 1 in 5 couples actually go their separate ways in the first year after having children instead of coming together, which is what you would think or hope that they would do. So today I have an expert on the podcast, and I think she's the perfect person to have this conversation with. We're going to get into all sorts of topics, gender roles, the way that sleep deprivation can have an impact on your relationship, the different tools that you can use essentially to not be one of the couples that are 1 in 5 going their separate ways. Okay, welcome back to another episode of Nobody Told Us, the podcast with your host, Rozay. I am so excited about this topic. This is a topic that I could talk about all day, and I get to talk about it with lovely Jill here, who is an expert in the topic, which makes it even better. So, without further ado, hello, Jill. How are you doing?
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So, the topic we're going to be discussing is relationships. You are a relationships counselor.
Yes, I am.
And obviously, my podcast is about things people don't know when you have kids, because we want people to be prepared to know what they're getting into. Not so much to like scare people, but just to be like, hey, this might happen to your relationship or to your body or to your life. And I think relationships is a major one. And I mentioned to you before, I'm quite obsessed with like watching podcasts, reading books about relationships, whether it's romantic, platonic, any that I can like work on and get better at. So do you want to give us a little brief background about what you do, who you are, and you're also a mama as well?
I'm also
a
mom too.
Few of the topics might actually be relatable.
I can fully relate to this.
Yeah.
Like completely relate. So I Jill, obviously, like you said, I'm like relationship counselor. I've been doing private practice for about 10 years.
Wow.
So I do that in like obviously in Melbourne, so I do that in Carlton and in Essendon. But my career background is actually in social work. So I have worked in hospitals pretty much for like 17 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Aging yourself a little. No.
I know.
Yeah, you
but
wouldn't
I've
think
worked
that.
with families.
Yeah.
So the last I used to work at the Children's Hospital, and that was also around like parents, newborns, kids, not so much teenagers, but like a lot of like, younger sort of kids.
Yeah.
So anyway, like you said, I'm a mum. I've got 2 girls. Who keep me very busy. They're 6 and 10. And I'm also married too.
Yes,
so
lots of similarities here.
My heart can relate to the challenges, the joys, and like trying to navigate like having kids, navigate the changes in yourself. And like obviously the impact on your relationship is huge.
It's gigantic.
Yeah.
I feel like it's top, like, I don't know what number it would be on the list of things that can really rock, change, improve all the things. Bringing children in, it's like it just flips it on its head.
Oh, it completely, absolutely does. And it changes as well. Like I feel like personally it's changed from having like younger kids to having 1 child to like adding on like another child, like having 2 kids. It's been like big. But it's also kind of cool. Like, it's exciting.
I think there's a lot of good. So I definitely don't want to doom and gloom the podcast, because I feel like sometimes I'm kind of like,
not to.
This is going to happen and that's going to happen. But I want to, it's just keeping it real.
Yeah.
And there are some really amazing things. I think when you find somebody you want to have a family with and you have this family, it's like, this is incredible. Like, it's indescribable.
Yeah.
There's little things in life that you can compare to how amazing that is.
Yeah.
But there's also little things in life you can compare to how difficult it can be.
Yeah.
But I'm interested to know what made you get into this topic as well.
So what made me get into like relationships?
So this your field that you work in.
So I feel like it's the longest story, but the shortest way of explaining it is because I worked in when I worked like earlier on in my career, I worked in like the ICU unit, it's like a trauma unit.
Yeah.
And I would just constantly have these moments. It's something that happens with all of us in crisis, right?
Yeah.
And so in crisis, you tend to see like a lot of dynamics like just spill out, like the chaos just goes from level to level.
Yeah. Just
And
unravels, doesn't it?
it really
Yeah.
unravels. So I just wanted to know more.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, I just got to know more. And also, like, I'm Christian. So at the time, my husband and I, we used to do like a lot of couple stuff at church. We
Yeah.
used to do like pre-marriage
Yeah.
courses, and we did like marriage enrichment courses. So I started to get my interest in like this kind of passion and desire for relationships.
Yeah, I can relate to that.
So yeah, like I prayed about it and I really just tried to like try and understand where I'm meant to be and like what my call was. And as soon as I started the course, when I got in, I just loved it.
So it's more like, it feels like a calling more than a job.
Yeah.
That's
It
awesome.
has to be.
Yeah.
It has to be.
Yeah, some jobs like that can't just be for the money. Like
No.
it's so much, you give so much.
You give so much, but it is like probably the most rewarding job I've ever had.
love
Like
that.
it's awesome.
I love that. I've also watched like things like what's it called? I think it's actually just called Therapy or Couples or something.
I've heard
Right?
about this show. I've never watched it.
I'm obsessed. I've watched every season.
I've never watched it.
That is my favorite kind of TV. Anything to do with stuff like that. And it kind of gives you, which we'll get into, like an insight. You're kind of like a fly on the wall for therapy sessions for couples. And then you might be like, oh, that's actually me. I'm the passive aggressive one. And what advice does she give? Or you can see yourself in the couples. So that's good. It's good to know that you got into it for the passion as well.
Yeah. No, it's a cool job. But I guess in terms of like what in particular to relationships, I love diverse couples.
Yeah.
Love them.
Yeah.
Like
diverse meaning something a bit different to what you'd expect?
I mean, like, give me African couples, intercultural couples, so
Yes.
couples who are maybe you could be the same like nationality, but maybe you're different religions.
Yeah.
Maybe you are like interracial,
Mhm.
like all of the nuances that come with, I guess, being a minority, being an ethnic couple,
Yeah.
culture.
Yeah.
There's so many layers to that,
Yeah.
and I just think it's such a like a lot of therapies, psychologies, a lot of the frameworks and approaches, they're very like Western. It's very
Yes.
Western models.
Yeah.
And so I think I've loved actually having the lens of actually I'm Zambian. I don't know if I
Yeah.
said that, but like, I'm Zambian. Culture is a big thing. Faith
Yeah.
is a big thing. So it's actually
Bringing all of
exciting
that
to
into it as well.
yeah,
Yeah, I like that.
yeah. So
That's
that's really
amazing.
cool.
That's amazing. I think, having these topics, I feel like it makes people more excited to go and taking the fear out.
Yeah,
There's been taboo in the past, which I think more people now are less like afraid to do it or think like I'm going to get judged if I go into it. But when you hear someone's doing it for the right reasons and that they're there to help you and it'll be culturally sensitive
Yeah.
approaches and stuff, I think that really helps.
yeah. Listen, most people like I don't really meet people who come for the first time that are excited to
Yeah.
be there.
I
Like,
mean, you're obviously
nobody.
there because usually there's a problem to fix, right?
Usually there's a problem, and there's a lot of like there's lots of myths, or like a lot of people have, like you said, like fears and anxieties
Yeah.
in terms of what's it going to be like.
Yeah.
Does this mean this is the end of my relationship? No,
Yes.
it's not the end of your relationship.
Yeah.
Actually, it could be the thing that could really help
Yeah,
bless
improve it.
further
Yeah.
your relationship.
Yeah.
It's always going to be scary because I am like we're
It's
we're
a stranger
strangers.
and you're going to go tell them these intimate things, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And couples, I think we're quite private, aren't we?
Mm.
Sometimes we might like tell our friends, but a lot of the time we
We
like
keep it to
the
ourselves.
real like
Yeah.
relationship stuff.
Yeah.
We tend to keep to ourselves.
That's
So,
true. Some people encourage me to, and I wanted to as well. They're like, you should bring your hubby on the podcast. And I'm like, some things are sacred.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I'm doing it by bringing it into like this topic. But
so you
without-
brought me
you know what I
instead.
mean?
Okay.
Like, I'm like, I don't know. It can feel very sacred. So, you want
Yeah.
to feel very safe where you're going to bring out some of the things that,
Yeah.
it's very telling.
It's cultural for some of us
Yeah,
as well. Like
100%.
some of us
Our
were
parents
like
didn't do
raised to be
this.
like, you don't tell people
What's
your
going on behind
problems.
closed doors.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
keep that at home.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
Yeah. Okay, well, first, we'll do a very quick icebreaker because you already know I've got a lot of questions, so we won't do
Okay.
the icebreaker for too long.
Yeah.
But it's just so the audience gets to know you a bit more. You mentioned how many kids you have and stuff, but this will just give us a bit of your personality.
Okay. Oh, I hate icebreakers.
No,
but all right,
don't worry. This is
okay.
like fast ones. It's kind of just this or that.
Okay.
So
cool.
the first ones are easy. They're easy, girl.
Okay.
You're good. So are you a caller or a texter?
Texter.
Me too. I'm working on being a caller, though. I feel like I need to be.
Although actually,
Because I can avoid a call, and that's like not good.
Actually, I think I'm a caller now.
I'm growing into one, but by force. Like I'm making
By
myself.
force.
Yes, by force.
By force.
Right? Like you kind of
Yeah.
need to. There's a thing about calling. You're either on one side or the other, but I'm heading to team call.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I am as well.
Slowly but surely. Sweet or salty, if you had to choose.
Salty. Easy.
I'm sweet, girl. I ain't gonna go lie to you. Winter or summer?
Summer. Come on.
Summer, but like when it's like the 40-degree days and stuff,
I'll take
you'd
that
still
over a
take
cold
summer.
day. Yes. Hello, air conditioning.
True. Elopement or big wedding?
Big wedding.
Did you have a big wedding?
A big-ish.
Big-ish.
Well, it felt
Or just
big-ish for me at the
typical?
time. Like we had like 150 people. That's
Yeah.
average,
Yeah.
standard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you have gone bigger, or that was big for you? Like, that's good.
I probably at the time could have gone bigger.
Okay.
Easily.
I had 5 people at my wedding, girl.
Did you elope?
We didn't even elope. COVID did me a favor. I told my family from the beginning I don't want a wedding. I just never pictured myself doing the whole walk down the aisle, dress like I could never see it.
Okay.
I loved going to weddings when people loved, like, if you love it, I love it. I just never imagined it.
So were you happy with having your 5?
I can't tell you how happy I am. Like, even I was literally today looking at my wedding photos. All I cared about, because I love photography, is that we have beautiful photos. That's all I cared about. Just the memories to show my children this was the wedding day.
That's sweet.
But the actual wedding day.
That's cool.
Yeah.
5 people.
5 people, girl. I was so happy.
So did you have people that were like salty?
They couldn't be.
Okay.
Pandemic.
Oh, you planned this well.
They couldn't
That's
be.
smooth.
I literally would be like, oh, it's such a shame you can't, cross the borders. The borders are shut. You can't come. So it worked perfectly for me. But I love it. I like when someone wants a big wedding, has it, wants a small one. Like, it should reflect who you are, your personality.
Yeah, that's true.
Just a couple more. Date nights out or date nights in?
Out.
You'd prefer at this time, or have you always liked to be going out for date nights?
Always like to go out for date nights.
I guess because I've got 3 little kids and a 1-year-old.
You
The
still
thought
do
of
you
getting
want to
cute
be
and
in?
dressed up, like I would love. I'm like romanticizing like the lounge is set up with, I don't know, some stuff and some candles and some food.
But
and
who's
I'm
gonna set it
home.
up?
Hubby has to set it up.
Oh, okay. You need to like start workshops.
It
That's
doesn't happen.
pretty cool.
I told you it's a fantasy.
Okay. Because I was like, oh, let me get your number down. Okay,
if I
we
had to
can
choose-
collaborate here.
I'd love that. I'd love that over like now I got to get into,
No, I
you want to get outside.
Yeah.
Okay.
I want to get outside. I want to get dressed up. I want to have a nice cocktail.
Yeah.
I want to be in a nice environment that's
Yeah.
not my house. I don't want to
Yeah.
look at like my pile of laundry.
Yes.
I don't
Shut
want to
that
be
door.
like, oh my gosh, I don't want that.
Yeah. You want to be away from all the stuff you were dealing with that day.
Yeah.
I mean, I get that.
And
I
I
think
wanna
I'm heading
be-
towards that.
And
that
I want to
now.
be in a place where I'm like, I can't take my kids there.
Yes.
that's
This is a
the-
kid-free zone.
Yeah.
You don't want to see, any kid stuff. No, I totally understand.
Yeah.
Okay, I think we can jump into it. I've got a better idea of you a little bit.
Do you?
Okay, so what I've done with this episode, I asked the audience, the community online,
Okay, that's
some
cool.
questions they'd have if they had a chance to sit down with a relationship counselor.
Oh, cool.
So I'll go through some of their questions. Hopefully we can get through all of them, but if not, we'll just do what we can.
Okay.
So the first one is, so ever since having our son, our relationship feels harder. We argue more, we're distant. Isn't it meant to be opposite? Aren't we meant to be more in love? Does this mean something's wrong?
Oh.
What are your thoughts on this? Because I got that a lot where it's like, shouldn't the addition of a child bring more love and joy and happiness and you sail off into the sunset?
Yes.
But instead you're like, why is this harder now?
You're like, what the hell?
Yeah.
What happened?
What are your thoughts on if people think that means something's wrong or if it's actually just normal?
Okay, so I would say it's normal.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what I would say to like my
Your
couples in the
clients.
room.
Yeah.
So sometimes you have to think of it like this, that when I guess before you have kids,
Yeah.
you have a very different relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so usually it's 2 autonomous people doing their own things that are together, right?
Yeah.
Once you have kids, the dynamic of your relationship completely changes.
Yeah.
It's
You're new people.
you are new people and your relationship is also new.
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes you kind of have to think of it like we're in a new relationship.
So it's
We're
not that the old one's not broken. You're just in a new one.
We are navigating a whole new system.
Yeah.
And in this new system, like we're codependent on each other.
Yes.
We're not autonomous. We're not independent. We need each other actually
Yeah.
right now. And we now have like another person
Who needs us?
in the system.
Yeah.
And so like often like we can tend to look back at who we were. Like people
Yes,
always are like,
comparison game.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like I used to
Yeah.
do the same sort of thing. But actually sometimes that kind of takes away from the couple because you're not them.
Yeah.
And so it's kind of like, well, who are we now in this new system, in this new season?
Yeah.
You know, if you have little kids, like actually that's going to look really differently for you in terms of like feeds and, you know,
Sleep
sleep and
deprivation.
routines
Yeah,
and,
your
you know,
body's
are
still
you on mat
freshly like
leave?
changed and
Exactly. I'm still
yeah,
recovering. I'm not myself. I don't have anyone to touch me. But like,
yeah,
there's so many different things. It's like a new job, actually.
yeah, yeah,
It's absolutely huge. And the other kind of big thing that you see is like you parent differently.
yes,
Like you're both probably have the same or similar values.
yeah, like the foundation.
The foundations are the same. You probably want most of the same things.
Yeah,
But how you parent and how you do that is not the same.
yeah,
And you also have different roles.
that's it.
Like the roles are different. So there's all these things
Yeah, there's so much at
happening
play.
under the surface.
Yeah.
And we often don't give ourselves time to really catch up with like who the relationship is now.
Yeah.
Like,
What do you think can help that in terms of like, because as you're mentioning it, it just sounds like reframing, not seeing it as like this is something that's bad that's happened, but actually being like this is a whole new thing. And maybe being around people who are going through it or have been through it before, so that you're not feeling like something's wrong, like these other couples are so happy, or this isn't how it's meant to be. I feel like when you talk to someone else and they're like, girl, yeah, we went through it too. Or
yeah,
maybe speaking to a counselor or something. Or maybe is that something someone would go to see you for?
They are like my business.
Yes.
Yes.
It's mostly parents maybe in the early, like with young children. That's
Young
your number
families.
one. Yeah.
Young families are like, if this normalizes it for people, so young families have the high, this is the doom and gloom, but
Yes.
it's actually
But
reality.
just being real, right?
So
And then how
research
do we-
says
yeah.
that like young families, they have the highest incidence of separation and divorce.
Yeah.
Young families, like your capacity is different as
Yeah.
well, right?
Yeah, definitely.
So I think it's maybe just looking at it like you're going through something you've never been through, you've never had to navigate together before.
Mm-hmm. There's
Okay.
no manual.
There is no manual
Yeah.
whatsoever.
Yeah.
Like, and we're in this together. So I think, yes, you need to have like a community, like the right community though.
Yeah.
And hopefully you have people that are real, because there are some people out
That
there
would be
that
like,
are like,
everything's fine. Why
yeah,
is
we're
that's
just
so
doing
strange?
really
Why are you guys
well. And like,
fighting?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, oh no, we wouldn't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe those people are
Yeah.
your people.
Yeah, I feel that.
And maybe people who like, maybe they're like, maybe a different maybe they've got older kids as well.
They've come up, they've made it out of that danger zone.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. They've
Yeah.
climbed out of the trench.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so interesting that it's that like time frame just after you have kids. I think maybe even that first year. It really feels like a danger zone.
Oh, it's so.
There's like you're just like one moment you're like, I'm just so in love with this man. Look at him, he's a dad, and then you're just like, if he sneezes, if he breathes one more, like you're just so done,
You're
but also so in love, and
done.
it's just
Well, I didn't feel the I'm so in love, because for me, I would have just felt really tired and felt really exhausted.
from your experience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we would have felt like we were on two islands.
Yes.
We live
Instead
in
of
the
being
house,
a team, you're like
we're on like
yes.
these two islands.
Yeah, having a different experience too as a mum and a dad.
Very different
Experience. Different pressures, expectations.
Completely.
That either will never fully understand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think like all teams or all like really good businesses, like they communicate really well. So no matter what's happening, no matter what stage of your business is, no matter whether it's a crisis. So maybe for some, like they might see, you know, like having a child like at the initial stages as a crisis, or maybe when the kids are sick, crisis.
Yeah.
You kind of have to pivot, and you've got to like, you know, okay, we're in crisis mode. Like, what are we gonna do?
I feel like crisis mode every day during that 12 months.
Yeah, exactly.
Everyday crisis.
Every day feels like a crisis.
Yeah.
But like what are we gonna do?
Yes.
Not what you're gonna do.
What are we going to do
what
about
are you gonna do?
it's us against the problem.
Exactly.
Yeah. When do you think, from all your experience, like at what age do we get out of this red zone? Like, or at what point do you think parents might be a bit more like, okay, we're starting to be on the same page a bit more. Things are settling, because I think that first year is dangerous. So maybe if someone's in that first year, when can they be like, look, we'll get out of this at some point?
Oh, that's
You don't
a
get
hard
out.
question.
You don't get out of it.
I think you do, but I think there's so many different like factors to it, though.
True. The level maybe of care your child needs and other things.
What kind of child you have?
Yeah.
You know,
True.
God forbid you have like postpartum.
Yeah.
Like, there's
levels.
God forbid you have the kid that gets sick all the time. God
Yeah.
forbid you have the partner who's like has a crazy job and is never at
Yeah.
home. There's so many like I think
Factors.
yeah,
Yeah.
heaps of like variations to like your experience. But I
Mm.
just think if you're in a relationship, like it is around like just trying to get more on the same page. Like
Yeah.
you want to turn towards and
Yeah.
not away.
So easy to do that.
So easy to do that.
So easy. Okay, I think we've helped them a little bit.
Did I answer that question?
I think we did. I think we're more normalizing the fact that it's expected, and if you're in that first year or in the first years, that even though that is when people are kind of at risk for separation, that it's normal. So you're not actually going, this is a red flag. My man's obviously not, he ain't it, or I'm not doing good enough. No, you're just in a tough time.
Yeah.
I was seeing someone, like a therapist not that long ago, and I'll tell her all these things, and I'm like, I'm dealing with this, and this is how I feel. And she's like, it would be expected. You have 3 young kids.
Yeah.
She's like, this isn't actually something bizarre. Like, I would expect you to feel these things because you're in this situation.
Part of it.
And I'd be like, no, this is terrible. And then she's just like, no.
Yeah, you're like,
it's not
you
terrible.
didn't
You're
read the fine
responding
print.
to your situation.
No, it's actually really hard. But
Yeah.
I think like there are some, and I don't know if you're going to ask me this later, but
Yeah.
there are some things that you can do.
Let's
try
get into
and
some of those. Yeah, let's get into some of them.
So I would sort of talk about things like so people probably like, oh, okay, fine, you're telling us to like turn towards each other,
Yes.
and we're the same, meant to be on the same
Yeah,
team. But we
especially
ain't
when you're in the
feeling-
thick of it. You're like, I'm
we're
not turning towards a man.
We're not feeling the partnership.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So like sometimes I'm really big on planning. You will plan for your baby. You will plan for your second child. Maybe you might plan for your finances. If
Yeah.
you're working, you're going to plan for your maternity leave. There's so much planning, all of the things you need for the child. You also need to think about your relationship like it's a person as well.
That's good.
So if I were thinking about my relationship like a person and I'm going into a new season that we've never navigated before,
Yeah.
like we got to come up with some kind of plan. And we know that what we want is like, we want to like stay together in
Yes.
this, however that might look.
Yeah.
So you're going to come up with a plan that's like, how are we going to try and keep our relationship intact?
Yes.
Not like how it was,
No.
or not like, 10 out of 10.
Just to survive
relationship
this thing,
satisfaction.
basically. How are we going to survive
Even if we
this
just stay at
season?
like a 5.
Yeah. Yeah.
We'll aim for like a 5.
Yeah.
And so that's often around like, you kind of have to like make time.
Mm.
And I know that like it's a season where people struggle with time, they
Yeah.
struggle with capacity.
Mm-hmm.
But there are actually like really small ways that you can make time for each other. Like I brought one of my like
Yeah.
parents of young kids date
Wonderful.
night here.
Oh, we didn't even mention at the beginning your name of your practice.
Freedom.
We should have mentioned this at the beginning.
Yeah, look at me like businesswoman.
That's
Freedom
okay.
Couple Counselling.
Freedom Couples Counseling.
Yeah.
Yes.
So it's all like small ways of like micro moments of trying to connect.
Yeah.
You just have to be intentional
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah.
Like really, really small ways. So that can kind of look like things like around touch. And I know that sometimes, like especially for
Touched
feeding,
out.
you're like,
3 boys.
get away from me.
Yeah.
But it could just be like, I don't know, like maybe you hold hands
Yeah.
sometimes, and maybe you're like, thank you for whatever. Like
Yeah.
you're just connecting like
That makes a difference.
Maybe it's also making time that actually we're not going to talk about like parenting, logistics, administration. I'm not going to talk about my role as a cleaner or like the admin woman or the
Yeah.
Uber driver. Actually, why don't we just like maybe do like 30 minutes? Like even if it's too hard, like 30 minutes this week of
Yeah.
like, we're just going to check in with each other.
Yeah. Just me and you.
Just me and
not
you.
This,
And
not all our roles and hats that we
Not
wear.
all of our roles.
Yeah.
Not pointing fingers at what you did or didn't
Yeah.
do. Like we're just going to commit to that.
Yeah.
And maybe we don't even want to talk. We're so freaking tired.
Yeah.
Maybe we just sit on the couch.
Yes. I do like that. I
Just
feel like
sit
there's
on
a
the
closeness
couch.
to it without having to like now think of things to say necessarily, but you still feel like it's like a different kind of intimacy.
It's a different type and it's the only type of intimacy
Yeah.
you can do in that
Yeah.
season.
You can't leave the house. Like, yeah, you got to stay there.
You can't leave the
Yeah.
house. So it's just kind of doing things like
Yeah.
that.
I like that intentionality because I think if you don't do it months, years, time passes and you go, wait, when was the last time I did this thing with him that I used to always do before? Or just checking in because you take it for granted.
Yeah.
You're just like, oh, they're there.
People
you
are like,
know?
what happened? Everyone always says like, what happened?
to us? Yeah.
And it's in the small moments.
That's good. I like the practical gems that are coming in because we're not going to let it be doom and gloom. No, it's not going to be doom and gloom. We're
No.
trying to like make, not just highlight it, but have solutions and stuff. as
Yeah.
well. So we'll read another question from someone who has sent something in. This is a bit of a spicy topic.
Oh, okay. What is it?
It's about infidelity.
Oh.
So there's apparently a narrative where people might cheat more during, like if their wife is pregnant or postpartum. Is this true? If so, why?
Like I do see that in
That's
my work.
crazy.
I know.
That's such a like vulnerable time. Like
I
of all times to
know.
cheat, not that there's a great time, but that's probably the worst.
I know. It's actually really
What do you have
horrible.
any
Like it's
idea
super
like
like
what's the
raw.
reason that people would do something like that?
I don't know. I think it might be around just the level of stress, intensity. I think sometimes like the weird thing is that sometimes in these moments that are quite special moments, like they're
How
really
crazy is
special,
that?
beautiful moments,
Yeah.
but they can also be moments that can make couples turn away from each other.
Right.
Do you know what I'm
Like
trying
maybe
to
they're
say?
focused on something else. And it's
Yeah.
like, okay, maybe loneliness. I mean, I don't want to ever justify it because it's never justifiable.
Yeah.
But
There's
if
so
someone's
many
feeling
reasons.
like all these different things,
There's so many reasons
yeah,
like why people
do
cheat.
that.
But it definitely happens and I definitely see it all the time.
That would just be heartbreaking. Because, like, especially if you're pregnant too, right? So you're like, I'm big, I'm feeling already gross and hot, and then now you've stepped out. Like, it's just crazy.
Pregnant
And you see it a lot.
or you've just had a baby.
Hey, no.
Or yeah, so like and think of there's a lot of grief. Like work around infidelity, cheating is like it's
A
a
lot
lot
of
of
work.
work. It is absolutely a lot of work.
Do you have experience where often it can be fixed or not really?
Yeah,
Yeah?
absolutely.
I mean, if they're coming to you in the first place, the person who's even been cheated on wants to, there's a chance. The door's open.
The door is open.
Yeah.
I see couples where there has been infidelity and they actually work out to be really well.
Maybe even
But to be
stronger
like
somehow.
absolutely, you would
Wow.
hope so.
Yeah, yeah.
After that, but also some couples they don't make it.
Yeah.
Like, and that's just the reality of
Like no one would fault someone for being like, I couldn't handle that, especially in that certain time.
yeah.
But, you know, it's always good to know anything can be, I guess, worked on or some things can,
Yeah.
you can get through things.
It's kind of crazy, and often like what you in the room, what you might hear is like the person who's cheated often doesn't see it as an offense to the family. Like he
Right.
doesn't like they often don't see the impact.
Because it's
of it.
huge.
Yeah.
It's not just one person. Like,
It's not just one person.
like it's even putting the girl's life at risk. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
because you could really have an intense reaction. You're carrying life. You're meant to be calm. It's
Yeah.
like really quite intense.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I won't go into
Yeah,
like
to
I
too
won't
deep.
go-
In fact, yeah, we'll
yes,
move forward, but
unfortunately,
we will confirm, unfortunately, that
that is a
that is
reality.
the case.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if there's not really much we can. Good luck. I don't know what people will do in that situation. Like, try to seek help if you want to, and
Absolutely.
yeah,
And
essentially
also
is the solution for
sometimes
that.
like when by the time the cheating has happened, to be honest, like usually it's like years of issues. Do you know what I'm
It
trying
didn't
to
just
say?
happen
It's
out
not
of
like
nowhere.
we just got
You have to
pregnant
unpack
and all of
everything
a
that's
sudden
kinda led to
there's
that.
usually when you like go back and you look into it more,
Yeah.
whether you're pregnant or have a family or not, like it's often there's like patterns.
Yeah.
Like patterns that we just decided that either we tried to fix, we couldn't fix it, or we just decided we're just gonna get on with it.
Mhm.
And then, like the cheating
Yeah.
happens.
It's like a symptom, or it's not. Yeah, it's not just out of the blue.
It's not just out of the blue. So,
Yeah.
sometimes actually like you gotta guard your relationship. And a lot of us have like a lot of people in relationships have differences in terms of like what are the boundaries, what's acceptable and what's not acceptable, what's not okay. But that's a whole other show topic.
Yeah. But sounds like something that needs to be clarified and not like vague. We have to be specific about the boundaries and protecting this.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Well, the next question kind of helps us with that in terms of what people could do in that situation. God forbid someone does cheat on you in such a vulnerable time. But it just asks sort of what actually happens in counseling and what to expect. Because I think we mentioned people might think, you're going to get judged. They're going to gang up on me. I'm just going to get told how bad I am for what I did. There's so many different reasons, excuses people have to not go. So what would someone expect if they were to come to a couple freedom
After
counseling?
they've found out about like cheating or just in general?
No, just general.
Okay. So, firstly, like, there is nothing that you haven't heard. Like,
Like
honestly,
where no one's going to shock you.
there is like, it would probably, I don't know what it would take to shock me at this point,
Yeah.
but like, couples counsellors, we hear
Everything. Yeah.
Like, we hear it all. And to be honest, like, often, like, you're sifting through details. Like, I don't particularly care.
Yeah.
probably the details that you care about, I don't really care about it.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to focus on
The actual problem.
your relationship.
Yeah.
If like think of that third person.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
That's actually my client.
yeah.
Your relationship is my
Interesting framing.
client.
The
So
client is the relationship.
that is my client.
That's what you're trying to save and figure out,
That's
understand the relationship.
Yeah.
Not, oh, you did this and you texted
You
her
did-
and you're judging them. Yeah, yeah.
Because that's like, okay, you're giving me information.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. The other thing is that, like, you know, once you've done it for a long time, what might feel like, oh my gosh, like this is such a big
So
thing.
new.
I've probably listened to like 4 other couples that day talking
Yeah.
about the same thing. I've had like, you know, the breastfeeding mom who's come in with her baby with
Yeah.
a partner next to her who cheated on her.
Yeah.
Or like, and I've had it like all day or
Yeah.
all week.
Yeah.
So I just think if you're in a place where you're like, oh, we're stuck, we've tried on our own,
Yeah.
maybe we tried church and we didn't have like, you got to just come, you got to just try.
Yeah.
Try
Give
it
it a
just
go.
once.
Yes.
And the other thing is that I don't think people realize is like we're gunning for your relationship as well.
Yeah.
Like you have another person who's also
rooting for you.
cheering you on,
Yeah.
helping you unpack stuff.
Yeah.
Maybe you'll learn skills. Maybe you'll be stronger, better as a couple.
Yeah.
You know, we like come from a framework of like mediocre. No, you shouldn't have to be in a like, yes, you're going to have seasons where things are like mediocre and we're just
Yeah.
doing our best or we're just like, you
Just
know, we're still in the
surviving.
trench.
Yeah.
But actually, your relationship should give you moments of joy.
Yeah.
It should be enriching.
You should get something
it
out
should
of
be
it.
healthy.
Yeah.
And sometimes we need help to get there. Like
Yeah.
I'm not help like when I go to the gym, like I need help to like
Yeah.
figure out how to use the machinery. Like I don't know, food wise, like so I think we need to know that we're created in community.
Mhm.
That like we were never meant to figure things out on our own.
Yeah.
Ever.
Yeah, we don't have all the answers. And you
Yes.
probably like, I find in relationships, even if it's friendships, family, you'll deal with the same thing again and again and again and again.
And
And,
again.
you know, it's like at some point you got to do something if you want to work on that particular thing. To fix it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. But we do call out behavior though. Like it's not like I
You
don't
won't
want to
just
be
sit
like,
there and just take
come
it all in.
and
Yeah.
we'll just sit and listen and be like, that's okay that
Yeah.
you did that. No, actually we do call out behavior. We'll tell you what we notice. I'll tell you what patterns I'm seeing. We often like couples counseling is all based around like attachment theories,
Mhm.
which is like, I guess, theories which is based on like your first experiences of love,
Yeah.
which is in our homes.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's looking at like how you communicate, how you are with conflict, intimacy, values, spirituality,
Oh, my
culture.
favorite topic.
That's
Yeah.
all like where we learn about love. And
Mhm.
what couples do is we like pack, you know, we have these experiences at home, we put it in our backup pack,
Mhm.
and then we partner up with someone and we throw all of this stuff in the relationship.
Yeah. Some of it you
Um,
don't even realize.
You do not
Or they'll try to
realize
tell you and you can't see it. I've been guilty of that where I'm like, what do you mean? And then
What?
eventually it's like,
What
oh,
the-
I do
I
that.
do that.
Yeah.
But I think the power of it is that you get to choose, like, actually, what things are not working for us
Yes.
anymore? What things are we going to take out, and how are we going to be able to do that?
Yeah. And you can kind of choose those things in the sessions in a sort of way, like by
Yeah,
bringing
you
them
have
up and
someone who like
being like, we're not
guides
doing this
you
anymore. Or yeah.
through like
Yeah.
you know all of that process.
I think people tend to not really know, or maybe they'll watch TV shows and stuff and think it's like that and not know what it is. And there is a bit of a fear around it. My husband and I are doing like a 10-week parenting program at the moment.
Ah, cool.
Because of our little bubba who's unwell, and they offered it to us to just make sure we're like an amazing team during this time.
Oh.
And so at the time I was like, yes, I want to do this program. I'm going to meet these people. I'm going to tell them everything my husband's been doing. And then we get there and they're like, so first of all, yeah, no, we're not going to do that sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? So I think sometimes people think you'll go into therapy and just be like, and then he did this, and then he did this, but I think it's more about like, from my experience, at least with this parenting program, like focusing on what you're really there for, which is the
Yeah.
relationship, which is the children, which is all these different things, rather than just a long list of offenses or something. So yeah, that was one where I think meeting or knowing your expectations before you go in can help you to be like, okay, I know what I'm getting myself into. Which
Yeah, you
helps.
need to. And I think, do you know what? Like more than anything,
Yeah.
you have to find the right person.
Yeah, the right person for your couple, or
You have to find. I know it's like really hard to
it
do.
is hard.
But you have to find the right person. Like
Yeah.
you both have to. Couples counseling is a bit different to individual counseling because there's like 3 of us in the room.
Yeah.
So our job is a little bit harder because you're navigating
You need both of them to be into it.
And it's all around like balance.
Mm.
But you need to find someone where you both felt like they heard you.
Mm-hmm. They're not biased.
Sometimes it might feel like that in some sessions, but also someone that you can kind of connect with.
Yeah.
Like I laugh, we joke. I'm like,
it.
what happened? Like,
Yeah.
oh my gosh, you
Yeah.
serious? Your mom did what? Like that often happens, but that's actually just my style though.
Yeah.
Like I think it's more of a black therapist thing, but I'm like, okay, let's
Yeah.
like tell me
Like,
what
let's
happened,
get
guys.
into
Like,
it.
let's,
Yeah.
but that's just me. And, that just means like that works for some people. And there are some people that will sit in a room with me and they'll be like,
This didn't work.
we don't vibe.
Yeah.
We do not vibe.
So it's good to shop around until you feel like I can do this with this person for a while.
Talk to people on the phone. And I know that it's annoying as well. Like, firstly, the process of trying to find somebody.
The process, I hope one day it's easier. Because even people who are willing go past all the like fear, etc. And then you're like, wait, actually making this happen? Like I'm sometimes jealous when I find someone who's like, I've got this, not perfect, but this therapist that I get, counselor. It's not that easy. It's like finding a relationship, you got to make sure that you're gelling, you're on good terms.
It's so hard. Like it is like really tricky.
Yeah.
Like, and I can say that even personally, like I'm like,
yeah.
How am I going to
But it's an amazing feeling when you do find it.
When you find the right person, you'll know when it's the right person.
Yeah.
And it's just like, it's good.
Would you say couples would benefit more from, let's say I'm in therapy or counseling, or I don't know, maybe we can discuss the terms as well, because I think people also get confused about the different terms, individually or as a couple or both?
Okay, so you're talking to like a couple's
Okay,
therapist.
so you're going to say couples, but you have to not be biased too. We'll put that aside. I'm just talking to Jill.
Okay.
So if I'm going to be getting help as an individual on the things that would help me in a relationship and vice versa, or is it, because I think sometimes you can't do it all, right?
No,
or maybe you are already seeing someone, your husband's seeing someone, or is it maybe once there's specific real issues happening that maybe you now need to see someone together?
So you have to just think about like what's the core problem. So sometimes, there's like, and then there's me, and then there's like, I'm like grief or like postpartum, and then their marriage. Like, so whichever one is the biggest problem is usually the one that you would go to like that person. So often like what I might see is I might often see a couple. And then while I'm seeing this is the crazy thing that happens is when you start to see the couple, sometimes there is one of the two who probably would benefit from individual work.
Yeah.
So I then might recommend someone or might be like, have you ever thought about trying? And then like usually like the wife is like, I have been telling him to go for counselling for years and he never wanted to go, and now you're just telling him. And then like I'm like, actually I know someone who actually might be a really cool fit. And then you like go into it. So but if you're feeling consumed with problems to do with your relationship, then you benefit from couples counselling.
Yeah.
But if you're having like mental health problems, you would probably need to go and see like, like an individual person. So therapist and counselling is the same.
Okay.
That's
one thing, yeah. So the terms of your therapist and counselling, but then maybe something like I'm seeing a psychiatrist, that's more someone who would give you medicine.
That's a doctor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who's going to give you, like
and then
medication.
Psychologist is one like.
And who's going to diagnose you. And then a psychologist, I think they can also diagnose you.
But not medicate you.
But not medicate
you. Okay.
But
do they all sort of do roughly the same thing? They just kind of... Is there much difference? Because I think that's another thing that people get tripped up on. They might just be like, well, who am I meant to see for this? Like right now we've dealt with, let's say that, no, we won't talk about the infidelity one anymore because that one's terrible. But, you're dealing with that first year and you feel like you're going to go separate ways. You might be at risk of being one of those couples that don't make it. Are you meant to see who out of those?
So you should see a couples counsellor.
Yeah.
If you're like, oh, we're struggling, I think we're going to separate.
Yeah.
Or we don't know whether we should separate or not.
Yeah.
You should go and see a couples counsellor. And like what we do is like if you came or if I spoke to you on the phone, I'm going to find out exactly what you're
like if they do need to maybe see a psychiatrist or something else, or if it is the right place. Yeah.
Yeah, because we all sort of like we all need each other. We all work together.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense. You might like refer on, like you mentioned, where you're like, actually you might need to dig deeper into this trauma or something.
On.
Yeah.
Forever.
But you got to start somewhere. That's the key, right? That you rip off the Band-Aid and start somewhere.
Rip off the Band-Aid.
Yeah.
Just try it. All you just got to do is try it.
We did couples counseling pre-marriage and pre-kids. And I benefit, like to this day, I like reflect back on the tools that I was given then. So I'm very pro doing that. I find maybe the men tend to be a little more hesitant worried, like especially because they'll picture another female and they're just gonna get them, but they get something out of it too.
They're
So
the
we
ones
just
who
need to
I find
normalize
engage
it.
the most, and when they come, especially
They're
African
chatters
men,
too.
they
Once they
won't
get
stop
into it, they are
talking.
chatters.
Are gonna be like, we gotta like,
and they're like,
okay.
yeah. They're afraid, but once they're in there, they're chatting.
You gotta find the right
Yeah.
person.
Okay, so we've got another question here. So the guys that I've dated don't seem to have the same resilience as the people before us, like generations before us, to stick it through hard times. It makes me hesitant to have children with the people I've dated. Do you feel like there's a difference? I feel like they're asking about maybe, like, okay, let's say our parents, etc., right? Maybe they would have more resilience to go through hard times versus younger people now who are kind of like, as soon as this is hard, I'm out of this. As soon as we deal with something, I don't need to put up with this. I don't have to be with this person. So they're afraid, by the sounds of it, to have children with people who will just like run away as soon as something difficult comes up. For this question I'd written, just a side note, I don't know if you've seen this clip. I always watch it, the Michelle Obama clip where she's just talking about, because I look up to, like, that's a couple that I'm like, this is couple goals. I love them. Although we don't know what happens behind closed doors.
Exactly.
But
they do couples therapy.
Yes. Yeah. And I like how the clip I always watch whenever I go through anything with my husband, she's like, I went through 10 bad years with him because of the young children and the dynamic and identity shift. Yeah. So anytime I do that, I'm like, if Michelle Obama and if they went through this, it's normal, one. And I think she highlights how some people just know you're meant to go through bad things. That's just life. Whereas maybe our generation, I don't know what generation that is now, whoever's age I'm talking about, the young folks might just be like, I don't need to put up with this. Is that a trend you're seeing in the sense that they're not as resilient as the older Michelle Obama and before?
I probably don't see these types.
Okay.
I don't think. And so I'm trying to figure out, so she's looking to find...
It says that she's struggling to it makes her hesitant to have children with people who don't seem like they could go through tough times. Like they'll just run away as soon as there's a tough time.
Okay, so she just needs to like kick them to the side.
Curb.
Because remember, like, if you think of the Obamas, like she picked the right person.
Sure did. If anyone ever picked somebody right. Yeah.
She picked somebody who, I mean, you never really know fully, but you do need to have a sense of confidence around, like, can I be in the trenches with this person? Yeah. So I think, listen, I don't know. I could say so many different things about this, but I think, firstly, like, maybe she should stick to the plan.
It's about selecting the right person.
Oh my
regardless
gosh.
of the generation, basically.
You must.
Yeah.
Because whatever problems you notice when you're dating before you have kids, I promise you, they will be the same problems.
If not worse. Because now you got kids 15, and those problems.
20, 30 years' time. Yeah. And I can tell you for a fact, because I see those couples all the time. They're like, when we started dating 30 years ago. And you're like,
that 30-year problem.
That 30-year problem that you've been dealing with for 30 years. So you kind of have to pick which problem like you're happy to.
I feel like I'll comment on it a little. I mean, I'm no expert, but I do feel like people, I don't know age anymore. I'm in that age where it's like, am I young or old? Who knows? But I do feel like people, as of late, honestly, just maybe are kind of like less willing to put up with anything. They're just like red flag. Like it's this culture of like, you don't need a man. Boyfriends are embarrassing. I don't need to put up with this. Boy, bye, single ladies. It's like propaganda nearly, where I do feel like generations before would be like, this is my husband, I'm going to figure it out with him. Maybe they didn't do therapy and stuff, but they definitely were like, this is for life. So I do feel like at the first sign of stuff, and that's why I'm very particular about people I get relationship advice from, because they will quite literally tell you to leave. I've got 3 children. And they will literally be like, girl, get out of there. And it's like, are you well? Like,
go where?
What? And I'm serious. I've literally been told that. So I'll just be like, well, I'm not coming back to you for advice again. Versus the people who I would go to who will be like, they'll remind you who the person is, what you're in, especially if they're like got faith background, etc. Yeah. So I feel like the culture of these days is to be like, if your happiness is paramount, if you're unhappy in that first year, bounce. If you're unhappy with this, just go.
I think it's like a culture. I remember I read an article about this, which is around, I guess, the differences of dating culture over the generations. Yeah. And so, like, even if you think about, like, at this time versus, like let's say the boomers period of time, like, the motivations for marriage were very different.
Yes. Financial stability for women.
Exactly.
It's not the reason anymore.
Whereas like we are, like independent, we've got our own jobs. And these are all really good things.
Yes.
But
it
it
impacts the
then kind of
dynamic.
shifts, like, I guess, the frame of, like, why am I dating? And even there's lots of, like, literature around, like, online dating now as
Yes.
well, which actually makes it a lot harder for this generation
Yeah.
to find people and to
It
actually
was meant
get
to make it easier, but
was
I
meant to
swear
make
it's made it worse.
it has made it harder
Yeah.
for people because there isn't that kind of they still talk about this thing around like trying to get to know somebody or
Yeah.
giving them more of a chance.
Yes.
But you've already done like the full
You've made your
all
mind
10
up.
background
I've checked your
checks.
pictures from the Philippines in 2010. I've checked
Yes.
everything. I know everything about you. I don't need to hear anything else.
Yeah.
Which are again generations. It's hard to talk about which ones, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
People pre-internet dating, it's just different. Whereas I think people are willing to give up on things quicker, easier. They do their own research.
They do their own
You know?
research.
They'll ask
Exactly.
ChatGPT, "Yeah, he did this. Should I go?" It'll tell them to go, and they're out.
But I'd say someone who's asking a question like this,
Mhm.
which is like a quite a common question, but they would probably be good questions to explore in therapy.
Yeah. And understand who they're picking, why, and where it's coming from. And if it's a repeated, keep
Yes.
seeing the same
Why
guy.
is it that you keep having this pattern?
Yeah. Okay, so the next question we've got here is a little bit about being the default parent or like gender roles and things. So I love my fiance, but I feel like everything lands on me now that I'm a mum. Even when he helps, it still feels like he's just supporting me. But we both work. I just feel like I'm becoming resentful. What can I do?
That's such a hard one.
It's a common
That's a big
thing.
one.
I have friends who are afraid of having kids because they're like, we're going to be working, and yet somehow I'm going to take this extra job on that you might not, but I'm still working just like you. It's a bit different when it's a stay-at-home mom, I think, where it's like that might be your role in the main thing, like 9 to 5. He's at work and you know your role.
Yeah. But there's still like the after.
Yeah, the after
hours.
is tricky.
Yeah.
That I struggle with. Because now
Yeah.
it's like we now have both clocked off.
Yes.
Whereas this person has been at work, you're at work. So how
Yeah.
come I've picked up this role? It's common, I'm guessing.
So hard. Like I'm like, oh, we can relate. I hear it all the time. I'm like, oh girl, like
Yes.
tell me
what you like.
Where
You've got some options.
No, listen, it is a big one. And it's like, obviously, this is around like roles.
Yeah.
And sometimes, like, yeah, I guess, like, often I'll talk to people around, like, how did it come to be that you were the one that's, like, kind of carrying
Mm-hmm.
or wearing all of these hats?
Yeah.
Like, how did
How
that
did this
even
happen?
happen?
You didn't just wake up like that one day, right?
You,
Someone picked up the hat and picked up another, or did
Ex-
someone hand it to you? How did it happen?
how did it actually happen? And what most people say, which I can relate to myself, is we often assume roles.
Mm.
Do you know what
Yeah,
I mean?
like I guess I'll be the one doing this. I'm going to bathe them.
yeah.
I'm going to buy the things.
Exactly. Like, you know, in my case, like when I had my kids, I was like, you know, my husband like kept working.
Yeah.
I went on maternity leave. I'd pick up a lot of assumed roles.
Yeah.
And because it's not discussed, not planned, we just kind of get on with it.
Naturally, yeah.
And usually if you think about pre-kids, it was probably happening then too, but it was manageable.
Yes,
'cause
it's
it
like
was just
heightened once there's 100 other
the
things.
two of you. But now, like this, remember I was saying like a little bit earlier on, like we're not independent anymore. We're
Yeah.
codependent on each
Yeah.
other. We're now codependent because we live in this
New
shared
ecosystem.
space.
Yeah.
And all of the things that like need to happen is actually for all of us.
Yeah.
It's not just for one.
Yeah.
So I tend to like reframe that and say it's a system problem.
Mm-hmm.
It is
Not
a problem.
pointing fingers, you're
in-
not doing enough, I'm doing too much. Because I think that's what it turns into.
Yeah. And
We
the
have
resentment.
tallied these things where I'm like, look at how much I'm doing.
And the resentment.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
And
for
the
real.
resentment as well.
Yeah.
Like I like think of the times when you're like you wake up and you've been up all night.
It's
And like you look to the right, or in my case the right, and there's still like somebody's still sleeping. And
the
then
amount of wives that have stared at a man sleeping and just
And
giving
they
him the
sleep
evils.
the whole way through. And then the next day you wake up, they're still sleeping. There's another child that needs to be fed, you know, the whole thing.
Yeah.
And then I have the audacity to be like, and how did you sleep? Does this happen to you?
Or even worse, they'll say they're tired. That's the one that will get me. I'm like, if you say the words tired, if that comes out your mouth, yeah.
Okay.
And they might be tired for different things. Maybe it did interrupt their sleep in different ways.
They might
and they might
actually-
actually just be tired because they're a tired person.
They might actually somehow be tired.
Yeah.
But if I put my therapist hat back on, I'll take my, mother hat off.
Yeah.
But like, it's a problem in the system.
Yeah.
It's like if you run a business,
problem.
like if it just requires the one person to be there, picking up the phone calls, managing all of the things, like taking the trash out, doing the logistics, like it doesn't work. It's a system issue.
Yeah.
So you need to change something in the system.
Yeah.
And so like usually by the time we get to this point where we're frustrated, we're resentful.
Yeah. Just everything will piss you off at that point.
We're exhausted.
Yeah.
And also, like also just feeling like we don't matter. Like that's a really big thing for moms. Like you're just feeling like I'm just working my butt off. I'm doing the best I can and you're not helping.
Yeah.
And sometimes, not all, but sometimes it's also a thing around communication.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like you might think that you're communicating.
Yeah.
But actually maybe
you're not.
You're not really. You're just
I've been there. Like I'll think like me acting a certain way is me telling you that I need help rather than telling you that I need help.
Yeah.
And then you'll get frustrated because you're like, can you not see that the way I'm acting? I'm trying to tell you something's wrong.
Yes.
And it's like, no, you need to actually say it. So, Yeah,
and
definitely guilty of that.
Yeah, and sometimes our partners, they don't pick
up. They don't catch on. They're just like, you cool? Okay, you cool.
They're like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah. Okay, something else must have happened.
Yeah. I'll take her word for it. She said she's fine.
She said she's fine, but there you are like, close to your deathbed. Like so sometimes it is around communication.
Yeah.
Like actually learning to communicate. This is a hard one.
Ask for help.
Constructively and not from a place of like, I've got like my gun ready to fire.
Yeah.
Because then it's just going to end up in like conflict, arguments, more resentment.
We call it like, it'll end up in the tired game, which I'm like, we're not playing the tired game. We'll be like, no, I'm tired because I work and I'm tired and I'm tired. And it's like, I just came to realize we're all tired. Adults, if you're an adult, you don't have any kids. People are tired, full stop.
Ooh.
So let's not like play the, I'm tired more than tired than you.
We played tired. The tired game for years. Sometimes I'll say to couples, I'll be like, so what role, like if this was an organization or this was a business, like what role do you play and what role would you ask the partner?
Interesting.
That's so some people might say like, oh, like clearly I'm like the CEO and the partner's like, well, I'm the intern.
Right.
So I'm like, well, this is interesting. Yeah. Like, why is it that
when did you apply for this?
Exactly. How did you get the role?
How are you? What's going on?
As the intern?
Yeah. Interesting that they kind of out themselves in a way. Yeah.
And then now we're having more of a conversation.
Yeah.
What do you think it's like actually for the CEO to be on all of the time?
Yeah.
Ever thought about that? Different
That's what
kind of,
yeah. Yes.
Or what do you think it's like to be in a place or in a home or a space where like you're always the intern, you don't feel like you measure up.
Mm-hmm.
Or
like your opinion might not
doing
be
the best
might
that
not be
you
as
can.
weighted. Yeah.
But actually you're constantly being told, and that's the other thing sometimes, like I think I'm going to say mums, but I know that it's not always
maybe
mums
like
who
the
stay at
primary
home.
parent or something.
The primary like carer.
Yeah.
Like your space is your workplace.
Yes.
So we all have ways of, we've come up with structure, organization, coordination of what works in our workspace.
Yeah.
So we do it well.
Yeah.
Right? Because that's just what we do.
Yeah.
But sometimes when someone else comes into the space, we want them to do it how we do it. And that can become a problem.
Yes.
So the other person is like, cool.
You got this.
You do you, boo.
Yeah. You don't like how I bathe the kids.
Exactly.
Apparently it's too messy. So I'm going to let you do it the way you like to do it. Yeah.
Exactly. That doesn't work. That doesn't work. So maybe you can tweak that or you can talk about that. Does this make sense?
100%. I actually learned that early on in like a video I watched ages ago. And I kept it and it helped me so much because I'm like, I don't need to, my way is how I do it and his way is how he does it. He doesn't have to do it my way.
Yeah.
And I feel like if I'd gone and tried to consistently be like, no, that has to be done like this. No, you have to wash the bottles like that. You have to, put them down like this. It's biting my tongue, but to this day, I'm like, that way we're both going to be doing something. Otherwise, it'll just be the end show. And then I'll be resentful and I'll be feeling like I'm doing it myself. But there's so many things that I'm like, man, I would never, ever dress a child like this. And he's probably thinking the same, but you just go, but at least they're dressing the child. Because if you turn into like, no, they have to dress like this, they have to be matching, or I intended for them to wear these. No. I'm like, you are wearing, the 2-year-old's wearing the 5-year-old's thing, the 5-year-old wearing I'm literally like, let's go, let's get in the car. Daddy dress y'all.
Let's not start with their hair. Anyways, we'll leave that alone.
Those things, right? Because if you want it to be exactly how you want it to be, then you're the only one that's going to do it.
You're the only one that's going to do it. But also sometimes you have to learn to bite your tongue.
100%.
You have to think, what is it that I'm wanting out of this interaction?
Yeah.
So sometimes it's also thinking of your why.
Yeah.
So your why might be like, you know what, like, if they leave the house looking like whatever, really, and if I step in and I make a whole big thing, he's going to feel like I'm putting him down
Undermined.
again. He's going to feel like he's being criticized, and we don't want that.
Exactly.
So I'm just going to like.
That brings so much peace, honestly. And then maybe those sorts of things I think are necessary. Not every time feeling like your way's the best way. They're doing their best.
Yeah.
And sometimes you might do things where they're also looking and being like, is this the right way to do it?
Yeah.
And it's sometimes just pick your battles.
Pick your battles.
Pick them battles.
Pick your battles.
Yes. I'm even forgetting what the original question was.
I know.
But, okay, yes. So everything falls on her. So what are, the things that you mentioned is sort of, it's a system problem. So reframing it, not about me and you. It's not us against each other. And obviously having those conversations and communicating it, and also understanding the roles that you may have assumed. Mm-hmm. And having those discussions like, I've assumed CEO. Mm-hmm. I'd like to be demoted to assistant. I'm applying for another role in this family.
Happy for you to. No, but also like, okay, so what people often say is like, okay, this sounds really great, Jill. Like, but actually every time we try and talk about it, it ends in conflict. Yeah. Like that's actually a big problem that most people have.
Yeah.
So sometimes you've got to know if there's certain topics that tend to cause like a whole big thing, like we just struggle.
Yeah.
You need to come up with a plan before we even go in the conversation.
Okay.
Okay. So we might be like, you know what? Can we have a chat this week around the house or how we're going?
Yeah.
What time works for you? Now I'm going to let this person know. And I'm thinking that maybe like we can just talk about how we're doing, how things are going with the kids and the house and everything. They might feel nervous. They might not. Okay, that's okay. And then before we start it, we're going to say like, you know, when we talk about this, like it just usually ends badly.
Yeah.
And we put so much energy into it and we usually just feel like trash afterwards, which is what happens.
It's not productive.
It's not productive. Yeah. So can we today like just try and make it more productive? Mm-hmm. What about if we be on our best behavior? Like if we had someone else in the room. This is why you need therapy, by the way, because most people are on their best behavior.
They are, right?
When
They'll
I'm
say
in
it
the
calmly.
room.
They'll explain this up. But in the heated moment, passive aggressive, etc. Yeah.
And start with like, I just want to hear you. Like, what has it actually been like for you? Like, I know that it's usually me against you, but we're in this together. We love our kids.
Yeah.
Like, we have awesome kids.
Yeah.
Like, what is it like for you? Like, because a lot of the time we don't really know what it's like for
the other person. We just live in our world so deeply.
So deeply.
Yes.
But maybe there's something that like you might
learn
that.
I really challenge anyone watching this to ask their partner that. I feel like we do turn it into the show, whoever show it is. And it's just like, whoa, me, the one breastfeeding, whoa, me, like the one this. It's like, what has this been like for you? What are you dealing with?
Because they're usually like in the root, like when I ask a lot of men, honestly, like they're struggling as well.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time as well, they've like most times I hear them just feeling like, I just don't measure up.
Yeah. That's so common.
I just don't measure up. Like I don't like, and she used to think that I was like, you know, but now like since we have kids, I don't measure up. Yeah. And there's also
That's a terrible feeling to feel.
Grief around like, you know, they maybe used to be like center stage.
Yeah.
But now like, you know, the kids have taken
That's a real thing.
All of her.
Yeah.
And some guys need like help in terms of like being able to express how they're feeling and their emotions and stuff like that, which they can learn in
couples counseling. The answer to all of this is see Jill.
Exactly.
No, but that's real. I think I one day like really saw it in real time where like pre-kids, like me and my husband were very like physically affectionate all the time. Like any chance we'd just be like teenagers, just always lovey-dovey. And then you have kids, you're touched out, you know, especially if you do, like for me, breastfeeding was so, like you have someone on you every few hours through the night, through the day, weeks and weeks. I did it for 8 months. Every few hours, someone is physically on you. And I think the impact of that made me just want space when I'm not, you know. And I remember like not that long ago, and the boys would come home and I'd just be like, you know, all over them, kissing them and this. And he's just like, that used to be me. And I was like, what does he mean? And I'm like, that's true. It used to be when I'd see him, I would be all over him. I would be hugging him and stuff. And now I'm like, Okay, that's real. Like, that's communicating it to me. And yeah, I think that was definitely an eye opener where I'm like, damn, that's true. All of that. And he's watching it in real time, right?
Watching
He's
it in
literally
real
like, she used to get
time.
up for me and come and hug and kiss me. And truthfully, I don't anymore at the
Yeah.
time. So it's something I work on now.
And something you kind of have to. At some point, you realize you do.
Yeah. Because it's
have
not on
to.
purpose, but there's just more to your life now. Like, it's expanded. And slowly but surely, the things you used to do, you don't. And in your mind, it's like, oh, that's okay. But to the person who used to receive that, it can be very like, damn, girl, you really not going to show me love?
Yeah.
You this is for real, this for life. Like, I'm not getting the kisses no more.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy, but that's why you need to have like check-ins.
Yeah.
When you can,
Yeah.
like you have to just do
I think,
that.
like you said, the first thing you mentioned was like planning it, like the relationship as a person or business, that making time for it, because time will just fly by. Time will just absolutely fly by. Okay, so let's move on to the next question because we're running out of time, and I told you I could talk about this all day. So this one is sort of about protecting like intimacy a little bit,
Yeah.
or trying to find ways to do that. So the person says, "Be for real. How are we supposed to have time for intimacy when we are so sleep deprived and constantly overstimulated?" And I take it that they mean intimacy in different ways. Yeah. What are some of the things that people can do? Because it sounds nice to be like, yeah, we'll just continue to be close. People are exhausted. So what are some tips? Or
People are exhausted, but even when you're exhausted, you still want connection.
Yeah. Even just some level of it, right?
It looks differently though.
Yeah.
So I think it's kind of around, I love that, like, be for real.
Yeah. I was like, okay.
It's hard though.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to lie, it's hard because I think the other tricky thing about it, it's such a tricky stage anyways. And maybe intimacy, like I think once you become a parent, maybe what your needs are can be quite different. Do you know, like, someone actually like doing the dishes, or you come home and something's done and you're like, damn, right?
Don't flirt with me now.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, come on, like pre-kids, like that's not going to be a thing.
Yeah,
exactly.
There's definitely things now that no one would understand that I'm like, I see what you're doing.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah.
So I think that, again, it's around like having conversations around like, hey, like, what does intimacy even look like to you?
Yeah.
Like, in this new relationship, this new life stage, like what actually is that? Like what? And maybe that can be around like, how do I show up for you? Or maybe that's even just a conversation.
What do you need in this time?
What do you need from me in this time? What do I need from you
Or maybe even
time?
what you don't need. Like, what I don't need is you.
Or actually, yeah, do you know what? Like, when you do it in a nice way.
Yeah.
But actually, and sometimes, again, like, we're all slow learners.
We're trying our best.
We're trying our best.
Yeah.
But actually, when you do X, like, it gives me the ick.
Yes.
But we've never said it. We've just kind of been like,
yeah, don't do that.
You know how, like, we have our own way. Yeah, exactly.
Legit. Yeah. You just get up slowly and it's like.
But we've never, like, talked about it.
Actually, just say, like, don't be doing that.
And, like, I don't know if they mean, like, physical intimacy.
I think both.
But, like, physical intimacy is also really hard.
Yeah.
Like, after you've had kids, like, your body images, like, all those things that kind of change.
Would it be normal for it to completely go away?
Yeah, I think that happens for so many people.
Yeah. Like, for it to just be like, don't ever touch me again in your life?
That happens with so many people.
I had the opposite, strangely, but I can imagine that.
You had the opposite?
I did. I literally was like a teenager with that man. It was crazy. I was literally like 6 weeks each time. I feel like seeing him in his father role, the thing I mentioned earlier, like I was very like, I love this man so deeply.
Like, tell us about the workshops again.
No,
this
but then,
is just a workshop plug
that only
for
lasts
you.
like the oxytocin or something, whatever hormone that is, it got me good each time.
That's so sweet.
And
Listen,
then,
we love that for you.
Yeah, I was happy. I was like, this is nice. It was
that.
definitely a good feeling, and it was mutual, and we were just in bliss at the beginning. Let me absolutely clarify.
But still,
I'm glad I had that.
Yeah,
that's how I got tricked into 3 of them.
Exactly.
You're like, I want that feeling again.
Some
and
of
again.
us like eternally had our elbows out.
Understandable.
Like,
I was expecting that.
Yeah, no, that but I think what I learned personally doing this type of work, and also like just talking to couples, is like sometimes we think of like physical intimacy, we just automatically just think sex.
Yeah.
and it's not
Yeah.
just sex.
Yeah.
You know,
No,
like
we're
you
just
think
making out
of,
like teenagers.
oh, maybe you don't even want to do that.
Yeah.
But maybe that looks like
Maybe it's not
actually
physical. It's just,
like non-sexual touch.
yes. Yeah.
Maybe it's like foot rub.
Yeah. Yeah. A
Or
back
maybe,
rub.
yeah, or maybe
Yeah.
I just want to like put my head like on your
Yeah.
shoulder.
Just like, yeah.
Like,
There's
please.
so many levels to it.
Yeah. So, or another way you can talk about it is like the menu.
Mm-hmm.
Because like if you're thinking intimacy or physical intimacy and you're thinking sex, you're thinking the whole menu.
Yeah.
Like going to a restaurant and ordering
The whole shebang.
everything.
Yeah.
And because we don't want to order everything.
Mm-hmm.
So instead of that, we're like, no, I'm just not going to go
Just
to the
a little
restaurant.
bit.
I'm not going to go to the restaurant.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
But actually, maybe you just want entree that day.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you can talk about, well, what would the entree be?
Yeah. Just have those discussions.
Yeah.
Put it out there.
Put it out. But if
Yeah.
you're not talking about it, it's like, it's the problem or issue is still there.
Mm-hmm.
You're just kind of walking around it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. So I think, yeah, it is normal for it to potentially just disappear completely.
So normal.
Yeah. And the other person should expect that too.
And the other person should expect that and
Yeah.
should know where you're at.
Mm-hmm.
And also knowing that you might feel that way at some point, but at some point you might also start to feel like yourself again.
Yeah. It just
You
takes
know, whatever
time.
that looks like when you leave. I call it like when you leave the tunnel.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
there's
yes.
the
I know
tunnel.
exactly what you mean.
And then you leave the tunnel and you're like,
It's the best feeling in
I
the
feel
world.
normal. Like I don't feel
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
But I just feel like me.
Yeah, yeah.
And maybe when I feel like me, I'm gonna want to do
Yeah.
more things now.
Yeah.
You
I
know.
feel like the tunnel for me, obviously not like, intimacy and stuff was early on, for whatever reason. But in terms of feeling like myself, I feel like there's something about that 1 year mark. Which, when you say the tunnel and coming out of, I'm just like, we're nearly there. Like, you
We're
know,
nearly
likely
there.
they're sleeping and you're in a better place.
Yeah.
And it's an amazing
You
feeling.
find your groove as
Yeah.
a family as well. You know
Yeah,
how it
like you're
takes
in
a little while to like,
routine.
yeah.
Yeah, I think having that expectation that in that time someone, might be giving me the elbow, I don't know, whatever it is, just having those discussions.
You got to talk about it.
Yeah, because you think the first year after having a baby, you're going to be so deeply in love, but it's not necessarily the case. Yes.
No.
Okay, we've got one last question, but I think
Last
you've
question.
covered it.
What is it?
It's about parenting styles. You did kind of mention it already, though. So while we're dating, we're so aligned on the kind of life we wanted together. Then we had our daughter, and now we clash on everything. Is this common? You've told
Yes.
us it's common.
It
And
is.
you've mentioned the background of what you bring, the baggage you bring to a relationship.
The baggage of what you bring to a relationship, but also like just you have to remember that your partner is different.
Yeah.
Like, and I'll say it again, you have to remember that your partner is different.
Mm-hmm.
So that means that maybe the way that they go about certain things or some of their values is not going to be the same as yours.
Yeah.
The trap is often what happens is like we then start to compete.
Yes.
And the thing with kids or when we have children is like kids are very emotional.
Mm.
Right? Like it's not
So
something that
heightened.
we're
They're
like, oh, it
intense.
should be fine. You're like, actually, no, this is my child. You know the
Yeah.
feeling that you have,
Yeah.
right? So they evoke a lot of emotion,
Yeah.
which means we tend to be less flexible because it's like, you're not going to, do that to
It
my
just means
child
so
or
much
whatever.
to us.
It means
The other things it
so-
might be like, you're talking about things that aren't that deep, but this is deep.
This is deep.
Yeah.
Like, I need them to, turn out to be a certain way.
Yeah.
A lot, like for some people, I mean, I don't know about for this particular person, but for some people it can be around, actually in my household, it's around like, authority.
Mm-hmm.
So like the discipline
Yes.
aspect versus
Like
like
gentle
the
parenting.
nurturing, gentle parenting,
Yeah.
they're fun, and those two clash.
Yes.
Right? And you now become enemies.
Yeah.
And you compete.
Yeah. Thinking this is the
And-
right way, this is the wrong way.
Yeah, like you're too much.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
You're just too much. Or like actually you're not doing enough. Like why are you
Mm.
doing that? So now we're not on the same team.
Mm-hmm.
But actually, like what we know in terms of having like really healthy, well-rounded, thriving kids
Mhm.
is they probably need both.
Yeah. A
They-
mixture of, not
they-
just one or the
No.
other.
If it's just all discipline,
Yeah.
like maybe that's not the best
Yeah.
for a kid because kids do actually need nurturing. They do need
Yeah.
softness. They do need playfulness. They
Yeah.
do need like a sense of freedom.
Yeah.
But they also need structure. They
Yes.
also need to
Boundaries
be disciplined. They
and-
also need a sense of authority.
Yeah.
So it's like a melting pot, both of those two things are required for.
Do you often see people that are different, or do you ever come across?
Everyone is different.
But in terms of, let's say, like, for example, my husband's more of a disciplinarian than I am.
Yeah.
And so he's a bit more like, no, we have to take this serious. This is very serious. And this is not, we cannot let this go. And I'm more like, all right, let's have a chat and let's talk it through and, let's see how it goes if it keeps going. But
Yeah.
do you tend to find like it's yin and yang, opposites attract, or do you sometimes find like two disciplinarians that are like parenting? Like, do you know what I mean? Or does it tend to end up being quite like opposites attract?
I feel like it's mainly opposites.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Or
yeah.
they might have the same,
But
they might have
apply
the
it differently.
same value, but the way that it comes out is different.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I do.
Like where someone might be like, no, I believe in discipline and like as well, but I think that maybe instead of you yelling at them in front of everyone, you should have like
do it on the side.
So
yeah, like we want the same goal and how we do it, but maybe the application is just tweaked.
yeah.
Yeah, that makes sense. All good. Okay, okay, yeah. I think my understanding from the research I did is that the difference in how people parent in the different parenting styles is one of the main conflicts that parents will have. Yeah, I've experienced it myself.
Yeah, I do as well.
Yeah.
Like I have as well.
Yeah.
But it really helped. Like for me, I'm also like the softer parent.
Like you don't
currently.
play, but you can be like nurturing about it.
Yeah.
Like it's not all just. This isn't the military. You know what I mean? Like, let's just chill a little bit, Like, dang.
Exactly.
There's a time and place for the military.
There's a time and a place for the military. But I now kind of have learned to, like, actually respect the fact. And I can now see, like, actually.
The benefits of it.
The benefits of, like, having, like, the firm hands.
Yes. I think it's so necessary.
It's so.
I think I don't know if it's the right wording, but I think there should be some fear towards your parents.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't want me to tell you something and you're just like, it's fine.
Yes.
No, like you should, I don't know if it's fear. You know the word that I'm trying to say. Like they're afraid to do the thing that you've told them not to do.
Absolutely.
The safety for anything.
Yes.
That they take you seriously.
Yes.
Because you can see how it can go left when you don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like, I guess it's also just important to like speak on like how hard it is when you're not feeling very aligned with your parenting.
Oh,
it
100%.
can feel really isolating
100%.
for a lot of people, actually. Or they can, feel like they're sort of in it on their own and feel really criticized.
Yes. Or like judged. Because it might be how your upbringing is.
Yeah.
So for me, I noticed, like for us and my family, how I grew up, like the child is quite centered. Like the child is very centered in my side of the world, like my side. So it's like everything's to do with the child. Like we're all just here. The kid is the main thing. Whereas my husband, it's the adults and the children will follow along to the adults' rhythm.
Okay.
And so we constantly have that thing where it's like, I'll be like, no, we couldn't go to this because obviously Levi's going to be napping at that time. Whereas he's like, we're going to go and he'll nap when he naps and don't nap, it doesn't matter. We're going to go.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, how could we possibly? We need to prioritize his rest. And we need. So it's just this constant thing of like, I'm putting the child's needs first.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, our needs as the adults
and that
come first.
And those are the battles then.
Yeah.
Like because because now we're already tired.
Yeah.
So
it just already feels like an attack. It feels like
those are the
hard
battles.
to see the other person's perspective.
For me and my husband, so we're different because I had like I would call like just typical African parents, that
they don't play.
Like we sat
down.
and we listened, like we did not speak back.
Yeah.
We were too scared to cry, like, that whole thing, like you respect the
Even
adults.
crying is disrespectful.
Crying.
Yeah.
You must be told off and beaten and sit quietly.
That's right.
Versus like my partner, like he completely
never
different.
Experienced it.
Never had a smack, like really, like I spoke to them and that kind of thing.
Talk it out.
So I now do the opposite.
Interesting.
So I am like,
and then he took
the
more
trauma
of the...
and he's taken on like the whole other thing, the whole other side.
Yeah. So you might have your different reasons, but it's like, again, you're on the opposites.
Yeah.
Yeah. And just coming to, so what would people do in that situation since it's such a common thing in terms of the difference?
I think it's probably maybe trying to understand where the other person's coming from.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you're thinking
like
that
the context, like okay, you do this because you're afraid that the children might end up like this, or
but always going back to like actually we both want the best.
Yes.
For our kids.
Yes.
Like that's actually really what we want. But like, so where did this sort of come from for you?
Mm.
And sometimes I think you do have to have difficult conversations.
Yeah.
Because there are going to be things where actually you might feel like your partner has crossed the line.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Like at
it's
some
not
point you're like,
always
wait, we shouldn't be putting our hands on this toddler. They're only two, they can't comprehend what's happening.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, and those are conversations you just need to have.
Yeah. Yeah, I think so. Like it's, again, always comes down to communicating it, talking about it, trying to see the other person's perspective.
Yeah.
Which people need to do more often. Like, why did you do this? Or rather than you're in the wrong, etc.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, as you can see, I could go on about this topic forever. But if you have any final words for, other than the fact that we've come to realize couples counseling is something so beneficial.
Yes.
I definitely believe in it, encourage it, and we'll be back there, I'm sure, many times throughout my marriage. But for any couples watching this that maybe feel like they're going through a hard time, that feel like, I don't know, they're disconnected, exhausted, etc., are there any words of wisdom or things that you would encourage them to do during this difficult time?
I think it's just a reminder that you don't have to have it figured out.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's impossible that you would.
Mm-hmm.
But like maybe you need to, I just think people need to seek help and seek help earlier.
Yes.
That doesn't mean
They
couples.
have more success getting it earlier than later, right?
Exactly. That does not mean like couples counseling. Like that might just be like, actually, you know what? Like we have another couple friend who we trust, who we admire, who we respect. Maybe we might talk to them, or maybe we might go and speak to our pastor, or like it's actually just not staying.
It's stuck. Not having the 30-year problem.
Don't push through. Don't have the 30-year-old problem. It's not worth it. And I don't actually think that was the design for relationships. Like, you always need to be moving. But I just think, lastly, like, your relationship needs investment. Like, like you can't just, like assume, stay in the relationship and just assume like all of these kind of big things.
Yeah.
I talk to people about like every couple has like a couple's bank account.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
So there's me, there's you, and then there's our bank account.
Yeah.
And so sometimes in seasons, like we withdraw out of that account.
Yeah.
Like lots come out. Parenting, the season of parenting.
Yeah.
There's lots of withdrawals.
In minus.
It's in the deficit.
Yeah.
Like there is nothing left to get.
Yes.
But like any bank account, you've got to pour back
Yeah.
in. Okay. And so maybe that might be like in this season, like it's doing micro things, doing really small things.
Something's better than nothing.
We're pouring in. We're checking in with each other. We're pouring in.
Yeah.
Like you constantly have to be thinking of like, what can I do? Or maybe we haven't done anything for a while. What's going on? Oh, maybe we just haven't like been able to pour back into our relationship. Like maybe we need to think about something or try something differently.
100%. That's a word for me. Definitely have experienced the times where you're not pouring into it and you think it's fine. And we were acknowledging that we're not doing it. So we thought it's okay to just be like, I know we're not like working on us, but we'll get to it. Levi needs us and this, and we'll come back. And we just check in every once in a while just to say, I know we're not doing anything, but actually that was in such a deficit. We're in such debt in terms of the relationship, and so definitely I'll never do that again where we just keep putting it on the back burner and thinking it's enough to just acknowledge it's on the back burner because, there's repayments to be made now.
Exactly.
That I wish we hadn't let it go to that point. Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be like big. It doesn't have to.
Just
it
little,
can be small.
consistent.
Like it's small. John Gottman always speaks about. He's like a really well known like relationship researcher. Yeah. And he will always speak about like small things often.
Yes.
So you just have to
small
try
things.
and do
It's not the extravagant stuff.
Yeah.
It's just keeping the spark alive, which is good. Which means we've left it on a good note, which is very good.
Yeah, see?
Yes. It's not all doom and gloom. There is hope.
Gloom.
And I hope people are encouraged to meet with either yourself or people who are in your line of work. But I just want to say thank you for joining me.
Oh, my pleasure.
Answering some of the spicy and interesting questions that we received. But yeah, thank you. I hope you guys got something out of it too. And I can't wait for you guys to tune into the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed that last episode. Don't forget to click subscribe, share this video with a friend, and of course, tune in next time. Thanks, beautiful people. Bye.